June 2022, the quiet town of Alton, Illinois, was shaken by a tragedy that no one could have imagined. Liese Dodd, a 22-year-old woman, was in the final weeks of her pregnancy. Family and friends described her as kind, creative, and full of life. She had been excitedly preparing for the arrival of her baby, decorating a nursery, picking names, and dreaming about the future she would soon share with her child. But behind her bright smile, Liese had endured a difficult relationship. Her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Deundrea Holloway, had a history of conflict with her. Friends say she was trying to move forward, to build a safer, happier life for herself and her unborn baby. Then, just weeks before her due date, everything changed. On June 9, 2022, Liese's mother went to check on her after she hadn't heard from her in a few days. What she found was every parent's nightmare. Liese had been brutally murdered inside her own home. Police quickly identified Holloway as the suspect. He was arrested shortly afterward and charged with first-degree murder, intentional homicide of an unborn child, dismemberment, and concealment of a homicidal death. The community of Alton came together in grief. Vigils were held. People brought flowers, photos, and candles. They spoke about Liese's warmth, her laughter, and her excitement to be a mother. Local leaders and advocates used her story to raise awareness about domestic violence and the silent dangers faced by women trying to escape abusive relationships. After nearly 3 years of legal proceedings, justice was finally served. In January 2025, Deundrea Holloway pleaded guilty. The court sentenced him to 60 years in prison, 30 years for Liese's murder, and 30 years for the death of her unborn child. The verdict brought a measure of closure, but not peace. For Liese's family, no sentence could replace what was lost: a daughter, a soon-to-be mother, and a future filled with promise. Her story now stands as a solemn reminder of the lives destroyed by domestic violence and of the strength of the families and communities left behind to fight for change. At her memorial, a message was written beneath her photograph: in memory of Liese and her baby, gone too soon but never forgotten.